First time I knew I loved comic books, I was 12 years old. I used to go to my dad's office on Sundays and help refill paper towel and toilet dispensers, and he would pay me $3 an hour. And then on Sundays we would go to the local bodega near our house, and I would pick a comic book off the rack because they just look cool. They're about $1.25 a piece when I first started buying them, so I could get a couple. And then when I was 12, I met a friend at summer camp who told me about a comic book store, and I went, there's a whole store? And so that was my first time in an actual comic book store where it was wall-to-wall comic books, graphic novels, toys, stuff like that. I didn't know that I was going to own a comic book store or run a comic book store, but I knew I loved it, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and I just wanted to be a part of it somehow. So I just got through college, graduated, and I just still had no idea what I wanted to do. So I kind of bounced around, but I always loved comics and I loved music. I worked at the Millennium Broadway Hotel, and my boss there, his name was Nicholas Cox, and he taught me unknowingly how to run a business. I just found myself asking questions. How does this work? How does that work? What do you do in this situation? And lo and behold, it gave me the confidence I needed to open my own business. I was born and raised here in North Jersey, so I had a pretty good understanding of, at least growing up, what were the cool areas to be. Montclair always had a really good art scene and a really good music scene, so that was automatically on my list. And one thing led to another, and then I looked around and I took pictures of all the for lease signs I saw in town, and I found this spot. Next thing you know, I'm signing paperwork and I'm getting keys. The function of a comic book store in any community is entertainment. It's also a place for people to gather. It's a place for folks who may feel like they're on the cusp of society, or they don't exactly fit in. It's a place where everybody fits in because there's so many colorful characters and there's so much going on and there's so many different perspectives and points of view that they all just finally intersect into one space, which is the comic book store. Growing up Jewish, it didn't occur to me that a lot of really famous comic book characters like Superman and the X-Men were created by Jewish creators. I never really thought about that. I went to the comic book store to buy comics, and I saw that the Hulk was fighting a woman who had a Star of David in a blue and white outfit, and I went, oh, she's really? The fact that when I saw her in the blue and white and the Star of David, it really kind of did something to me, and I was like, oh, that's my culture in a comic book. Really sank in with me, which reverberates now throughout the shop, is the idea of representation, and it's important for everybody to feel what I felt back in '93.